What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp. In this video, I'm going to be explaining what put options are, how to use them, and how they work. So, whether you're new to options trading or if you're just, want to learn more about puts, here's the video. So, in this video, we're going to be looking at Microsoft. So, let's say you took a look at Microsoft and you see Microsoft had a really big uptrend for the past 6 months, but you think now that they are about to fall. So, put options go up when the stock goes down, okay? Now there's a lot of different ways to use put options, a lot of different like advanced spreads and stuff like this. But in this video, I'm going to be explaining just like the bare basics, the fundamentals of pretty much how they work. So, let's say with Microsoft, Microsoft's at about $184 right now. Now, as most of you guys know, with options, there are a lot of different expiration dates. Like, for example, today's February 20th. I can buy a put option that expires tomorrow, which is February 21st. Or I could buy a put option that expires, in February of next year. Or I could buy a put option that expires in 8 days, or 15 days, or 29 days, or 57 days. But, once you pick your date, right, you pick a date. And then you could see that Microsoft is at about $184 right now. So pretty much what a put option does is it gives you the right but not the obligation to sell Microsoft at the underlying strike price. So, for example, Microsoft's at $184 right now. If you buy the $180 put, that will give you the right, but not the obligation, to sell 100 shares of Microsoft for $180 each. So, let's say Microsoft falls down to $175. Your $180 put is minimum going to be worth $500. How do I know that? So if Microsoft is down to $175, you could buy 100 shares of Microsoft for $175 each, right? But here's the thing. Since you have the 180 put, you're able to sell those 100 shares of Microsoft for $180 each, even though Microsoft is at $175. So, like, for example, let's say you buy the 180 strike put for $120. You're paying someone $120 to give you the right but not the obligation to sell 100 shares of Microsoft at $180 each. So, for example, if you buy the 180 put for $120 each, you're pretty much making a deal with someone else in the world saying, hey, if Microsoft falls below 180, I'm gonna make you buy 100 shares of Microsoft for $180 each. So let's say Microsoft, you buy this put and Microsoft falls down to 175. You don't even have to buy 100 shares at 175 to then use the put option to sell for, $180 each. So pretty much what happens is, like, if Microsoft fell down to 175, this put option would automatically have a value of absolute minimum $500. And you could just go and sell your put option to someone else. You could sell, like, your quote-unquote deal to someone else. So that's the general understanding of it. Like I said, there's a lot more complicated strategies you can do with put options, but that's the bare basics. Pretty much the couple sentence summary is put options. When you buy a put, you're pretty much making a deal with someone else that you get to sell shares at that price. So if the stock ends up below that price, your deal worked out. Now, there are other like advanced things with like time decay and like insurance and using options for credit, but pretty much as like a break-even price with put options, all you do is you take the strike price and you subtract the premium you paid, so the price you paid for that option. So for 180, for the 180 strike put, if you paid $120 for that, 180 minus 120, your break even is $178.80 because you could sell 100 shares at $180 each, but you paid $120 to do that, to have that right. So, like, for example, if you bought like the 175 put and paid $51 for that, your break even would be 175 minus 0.51. Your break even would be $174.49. And remember, guys, if the stock does fall and your quote-unquote deal, your put option ends up working out, you don't even have to buy the 100 shares. The put option will automatically have that value priced in, and you could just sell it to someone else, okay? So if you guys have any questions on this video, I will be answering all the comments in the comment section down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.